Hey folks, I'm running just a few minutes behind. See, here's what happened. About an hour ago, I decided to go to the post office and drop off a couple of packages. On my way back out of the post office, well, there was a line of police cars with a pickup truck, relatively new pickup truck, and they were systematically pulling it apart, piece by piece. Well, when I pulled by, I saw in the front seat there was piles of money, like wads of money, not wads, but stacks of money, all rubber banded together or something, in the front seat. And they had screwdrivers and other implements and things. They were pulling off the panels in the vehicle. They were doing this right in the street, busy street. That's why I'm late. Running just a little bit behind. Hello, levels of madness. No B-rolls. It all seemed to be folding kind. All wrapped up in bundles. You don't know the temptation. Hey dude, you know that was all illegally acquired. I can legally spend it if you hand it to me. Oh, probably. I don't even know. I have no idea. It was probably 20s. That's the most common kind of currency there is. Could have been C notes. But I'm finishing this little job right here. Hello, Deanne. Just had a little bit of excitement here in town. The Morrisville Police, the Cary Police, the State Highway Patrol, a couple of unmarked cars. I don't even know what else. There were lawmen everywhere. I even saw a Fuquay-Varina police car. Fuquay-Varina is about 25 miles south of here. I don't know if they chased these people up to where they are and then ended up digging through their car and finding stuff. I have no idea exactly how all this occurred. But coming out of the post office, the police had a vehicle stopped in the middle of the road, and they were having to divert traffic around this vehicle stopped in the middle of the road. It was a black pickup truck, a Dodge Ram, and it was a relatively new one. It looked like a relatively new, expensive truck, a huge one. They were systematically pulling all the panels out of this vehicle, looking for hidden stuff. They found bundles of cash that they had laying on the front seat. That was kind of cool. But, I just kind of drove by. It was at a stopped light, and I had to sit there for a couple of minutes, so I was just watching what they were doing. Digging through this vehicle. From the cash I saw, it appeared as though it probably my entire year's income sitting in the front seat of this vehicle. Stacks and stacks of cash. I didn't see any drugs or anything. All I saw was cash. I don't know what they were pulling out. They probably had found drugs on the guy and decided to search the vehicle and found cash, and then decided, well, it's probably just time to go ahead and take the whole vehicle apart right here in the middle of the road in rush hour traffic. Oh, it was fun to watch. But that's why I'm running a little bit behind. A typical 10-minute drive home from the post office took more like 45 minutes. So here I am, and here we are just about ready to get started. I have 50 names out here in front of me, along with one extra little piece right here. That's going to be the one where when I draw that, the person's name who I drew before I draw this, 2 stars, will get the wrapper. This is a really cool wrapper here. It appears to be a relatively typical 50-cent wrapper, but look at this. You have the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, Memphis branch, written right there on it. That's awesome. This is a 1960 Denver roll. Should all be large date. So I'm going to take my 50 names. I'm going to carefully move everything else out of the way. This is hour 2 of the Chuck in Hell show. Today I have been running. Okay. There we go. All right. Let me get the wrapper opened. Do my best with my thumbnail. Gotta remember to grow my thumbnails out and not cut them off, because this is about the only way to do this safely. I just have to find the correct thumb for the correct wrappers. Here we go. We're getting started there. This paper is a little tough. It's a little difficult to get open, but that helps us know that our rolls are original. All right, there we go with that. Pulling it over the top of the coins. I think last time I might have gotten a little bit of an issue with flipping a couple of coins over, but this time I know I didn't. I checked it very carefully, making sure that I didn't flip any coins over. All right. Looks like we have a decent roll. 1960 Denver. Well, let's see what we can get out of these 1960D Lincoln cents. You can barely see those on my camera. Okay, our wrapper off to the side. We've got our numbers here. We've got our microscope working. And I'm going to pull for coin number 1. Here's coin number 1. Goes to Taco John. Let's see what we get for coin number 1. I always like going through 1960D rolls because it's not really hard to find something that has some value in them. When you get good original rolls like this, they're usually kind of loaded with goodies. Let's see. Nothing on this coin, though, as a start. Nothing so far, anyway. Let's see, what kind of a marker do we have? We have some die scratches. Let's see, there's a heavy die scratch from the 9 to the 6 of the date. And then a few other small parallel die scratches in and around the date and mint mark area. And this is obviously the side that was exposed. As this is the roll end coin. We find nothing there. So, Taco John gets the first coin. Yeah, for coin number 2. Coin number 2. Hello, Paula. It'll be for Wild Bill. Wild Bill gets coin number 2. Let's see what Wild Bill gets. Seeing anything yet. Nothing on the obverse. Let's check the reverse. There's a depression outside of the right cornice. A little bit of a die break going on there too. It's probably going to grow into a much larger die break at some point. But no hub doubling. No hub doubling do I see. No other errors of any kind. Let's flip this little baby over and see what we can find with regard to markers on this side so that we'll know what we're looking at when we see another one. I like doing that to get a good handle on what's in the roll, what repeats itself in the roll. That looks like it could be a die scratch above the Y of Liberty, but I'm not going to take that because it's too minor. See, for any good markers. Any good markers. That could be a little die scratch coming up off the 0. Oh wait, there's one, I think. No, that's not a marker either. I'm having trouble finding any markers on this one. Okay, so we have a normal die with no markers. I can live with that. That's coin number 2 for Wild Bill. Hello, Hoogie. Hoogie's Hobby Shop in the building. Jeff Dunn. Robert Adams. Hawkeye. Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn's here. Jeff Dunn gets the next coin. How about that? What do we have here? Oh, I think we have a repunchment mark. Let's see. Yeah, that's got an awful fat lower section there. Let's get it moved around so that the light's shining on the serif and zoom in. See what we can see. Yep. We've got a doubled serif there. I'm not really sure if that's going to be one I'm going to want to list. There's at least 2 serifs there, possibly 3. It does look kind of minor, though. It's kind of hard to get a good focus on it. Kind of hard to get good lighting on it. So we'll see what happens with this. This could be a listable one. Oh, it's just so hard to see. So hard to make anything out there. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Get that back in focus. And I do believe we may have a marker right there. We've got a die scratch running from the 1 to the 9. See what else we have on here. Doesn't appear to be any hub doubling of any kind. Looking for doubled eyelids, looking for doubling in the motto, looking for doubling in Liberty. On the reverse, we're looking for basically the same thing that we typically look for most of the 1960s. We're looking for Class 2 doubling or Class 6 doubling headed toward the rim. Class 2 doubling is going to have separation lines. Class 6 doubling will just be stretched. And there is a difference in how those are created and what they look like, although they are relatively similar to one another. So Jeff Dunn gets a normal coin out of coin number 3 in the roll. Actually, this wasn't a normal coin. We said this was an RPM, was it not? We did say this is an RPM. I'm going to leave it sitting out because I want to see how many different RPMs we can try to pull out of the roll. Hey, Mayas Coins. Okay, Sissy Atwell gets this one. This is coin number 4. Coin number 4 goes to Sissy Atwell. Let's see what we have for coin number 4. A lot of die scratches in and around the date and mint mark. Let's scoot this up a little bit so I can grab my holder and move just my holder. Okay. I have a little platform that I use made of mat board, and it's 2x2 in size, so I can put a coin on it and move the platform around instead of moving the coin. Helps to preserve the coin. I'll pick it up and show it to you after I get done with this coin. I have the same pieces of mat board that I've been using for a few years now. You don't have to change those out very often. Yeah, I'm seeing a few really nice markers. Big die scratch in the E to the N. I've got another die scratch over here from the U to the N and to the N, well, U and I. And that'll help me mark the idea that this is the reverse to the one with a lot of die scratches that has no doubling. Okay, so that's coin number 4. Coin number 4 for Sissy Atwell helps us paint the picture of this roll just a little bit more. So far, one minor one minor repunchment mark, and nothing else. Levels of Madness gets coin number 5. Coin number 5 to Levels of Madness. And this appears to be the same die. I'll check this one more time. That die scratch from the 1 to the 9 and a doubled lower serif. Let's check Jeff Dunn's coin here real quick. Yep, same die. There's your die scratch 1 to the 9. And your doubled lower serif. So it's definitely the same die. So we have a relatively minor repunchment mark that we're finding in this roll so far. Okay, we know that what's going on with this die, and we know what should be going on with the die on the other side, except that coin-to-coin errors can be from coin to coin, meaning that if you have a struck-through, grease-filled die, lamination, a planchet break, anything that has to do specifically with the planchet itself or how the coin was struck individually can be on one coin and not the next coin. So we check every coin just to be sure, one way or the other. Okay, there's number 5 for Levels of Madness. That is a repunchment mark. So we have 2 of those so far. Now the first 5 coins in the roll. Coin number 6 will go to Benjamin Marlar. Ben Marlar gets the 6th coin in the roll. And it is riddled with die scratches. Here a die scratch, there a die scratch, everywhere are die scratches. And what I'm not seeing is any sort of doubling that we could get excited about. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. See if there's anything going on here to get excited about. And so far I'm seeing nothing. Okay, so nothing on the reverse side of this one. Hello, Clay. So I'll move us on to the next coin. Benjamin Marlar gets a normal coin with number 6. So number 6 is a normal coin. Let's take a look at number 7. Coin number 7 will belong to Mr. Hampton. Mr. Hampton will get coin number 7. This is coin number 7 out of this roll. What do we have here? What did I see inside that mint mark? Probably nothing. But it looks a little strange. Let me zoom in on it. See what I can make out of it at this level. And at this level, it appears to be completely normal. So scratch the idea that this could be a repunchment mark. It probably is not. Thought maybe I saw something. Okay, well, let's keep looking around this coin to see what we do see. Check for a doubled eyelid there. You always want to check these for doubled eyelids because there is some chance you could run into one. Not there. We look for doubling in the motto, doubling at liberty. Then we flip it over and look at the reverse. Looking for thickness or doubling. There's a die crack chip break on the right cornice. That's not uncommon. Definitely not uncommon for 1960s Lincoln cents to have that. Chips and breaks on the corners, left and right side. So here we have a normal coin. Let's move on to coin number 8. Between the T and the R in trust. Or is that between the R and the U of trust? Is that what you were looking at? A little spot. There's a little die scratch between the T and the R, but I doubt we really saw that. Okay. Yeah, it was just that. Okay. That's coin number 7. Now coin number 8. Coin number 8 will go to Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness gets coin number 8. And what do we have on coin number 8? Well, that's another one of those. It's going to give me a little false reading here. Unless that actually is something and I'm missing it. Let me zoom in again. No, it just looks like a dark spot inside the mint mark. It's kind of weird. And gets darker as I rotate the coin. Not sure what to say about that. I don't think it's an RPM though. So we will keep moving. When you back out to this level, the way it sure looks like a line on the inside of the mint mark. But you zoom in just to find out that it's merely some sort of a shadow of the flow lines. Excuse me. There we go, moving on. Coin number 8 belongs to Levels of Madness. Next coin, Mr. Patet. Steve Patet gets the next coin. Let's see what we have. Not seeing anything there. Nothing up here. No doubled I. Let's look at the reverse. And no doubling on the reverse. So we can move on. Mr. Patet's coin is normal. Coin number 10. Come on. Just trying to grab one of them. There we go. Majestic. Majestic Sounds of Coins. Gets the next one here. And no repunchment mark. No double die obverse that I can see. Nope. No doubling on the obverse. Let's look at the reverse. And nothing here either. During the last hour, we were discussing the idea, and I'm sure most of the same people are in this role that were in the one last hour, the possibility of opening yet another roll of coins as a freebie for the spots purchased during this past roll. Well, what I had not realized at that time, that I did later realize, is Mr. Dowdle, is that the roll I opened for you, yeah, there's a repunchment mark for you. Is that the same one? Same die? Let's see. Is it the same die? What did we have for a marker? Oh, we had that 1 in 9 die scratch. It's not here. The roll that I opened last hour, okay, so this is a different one. It's definitely an RPM. It's a minor RPM, but it is definitely an RPM. We have a die scratch coming out of the top of the 9. We have a heavy die scratch. Actually, heavy die scratches running north and south through Liberty. They're old die scratches, though. Okay, so heavy old die scratches running through Liberty. The roll I opened last hour was the wrong roll. It was a 1960 Philadelphia, but it's not the one I had advertised to open. So what we're going to do as our filling roll is, instead of grabbing another 1960D roll and bringing it up here and opening it, we're going to open the one I was supposed to open today. We're going to do it tomorrow. I've gotten some input from people on times, and the latest I can do a roll reveal is around 4 in the afternoon. In fact, I want to leave this one open because this is Mr. Dowdle's RPM here. And it is a different die. So what we're going to end up doing is 4 p.m. 4 p.m. will be the time for the roll opening tomorrow of the roll that was supposed to be opened today, because today I opened the wrong one. And have what appears to be nothing on the obverse here. A little bit of profile doubling right there on the top lip. That's machine doubling, folks. You can see it scooped up just a little bit on the top of the nose and on the front of the forehead. See if I can get this turned around to light just right. You can see it there on the lip, the nose, the forehead. You can see it in parts of the date. You can see it there on the inside of the 9. That's machine doubling. Anytime you see something that looks like this, take a look around. Look in the area around it and see what you see. A lot of times the area around something that's doubled is going to give you a clue as to whether you're looking at something valuable or not. So if you see something that looks like something, if you look around the rest of the coin and you see stains or damage or something like that, you can probably assume that what you were looking at was damage. And then look more carefully and assume it's damage and try to prove yourself otherwise. Those coins did have tons of luster. Robert Adams. But see, the roll that I opened was different from the one I was supposed to open. This is the one that was advertised to be opened. And it's still solid. It's 1960. It should be a Philadelphia. Yep, 1960 Philadelphia roll. So I will open this one tomorrow at 4 p.m. Robert Adams gets this coin. It's another one of those RPMs. It's the first one that I found in the roll because we have that die scratch between the 1 and 9 of the date. Right there. So we'll look around briefly for any other larger error. Like, there's a little flake of metal on the coin. That's probably from a very slight lamination on either that or a different planchet. It came off the press and landed on the coin there. Have an interesting die gouge going on up here on top of the... Is that a die gouge? It looks like a die gouge. On top of the cornice, on the left cornice. Now, the thing that's a little bit more about the anatomy of the memorial cent. The lower thing, that thing there that has the die gouge on it, that's called the cornice. The cornice is what holds up the columns. Now the top thing, what's above the cornice, that little box up there on top, is called a roof. So you have the cornice, you have 12 columns, you have 11 bays, and then you have a roof on the top. Bay number 6 is the one that contains the statue of Lincoln. Here's bay number 6. So you got bays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you got columns 1 through 12. Column 1 is over here. Column 12 is over here. This is called the base. This little guy is called a planter. And then you have the steps. Steps with a left planter and a right planter. A left base. And a right base. So there you go. I'm going to do 4 p.m. tomorrow because I'm going to spend most of the rest of the day cleaning up my office from the huge roll sale that I had. Trying to get the rest of... Was that an RPM or not? I got so engorged in dealing with... Okay, it was an RPM, so I'm going to stick it over here. I got so engorged in dealing with the anatomy of a memorial building that I forgot what the die was. Okay, here we go. Next one. We'll go to... Robert Adams. Robert Adams gets the next coin. Let's see what's on the next coin for Robert Adams. This is one of those ones that has die scratches just running absolutely everywhere. It's got a stain on the obverse. A little hit on the, see how the, now, somebody was asking earlier regarding that hole that I found in the rim of the coin. What's the difference between a hit and a struck through on the rim? Do you see how just below the L there's a shiny spot at the rim? Well, that's a divot in the rim. Now, if you look on the inside of that, toward the inside of the design, you'll see that it's bulged out. That bulging is the result of metal moving under the pressure of whatever hit the coin. If the die had been in place at that point in time, which would be the case if it were a struck through, there wouldn't be any place for that metal to go and it would not have flowed inward. So what you're looking at has to be damage on the coin created after the coin was struck. Now, whether this was created at the mint doesn't matter because it's damage after the coin was minted. And that's what we say when we say post-mint damage. It's not post-mint in the sense that it happened after it left the mint. It's post-mint in the sense that it happened after the coin was minted, after the minting chamber. Lesson number 2 for the hour. Have nothing else on the obverse that I can see. And the reverse is toned. That's strange. It's a darkly toned coin. This is not the light. Please try not to adjust your set while I get through the remainder of this coin. This appears to be a roll-end coin that was put inside the roll. I'm not sure how that happened. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a roll-end coin. It's just toned differently. Strange. Well, that one's for Robert Adams. And as I said last hour, and I'll repeat again, Ken Peavy will be hosting tonight's Coin Q&A on his channel. There's another one of the first RPM I found in this roll. You can see the die scratch between the 1 and 9 of the date. And you can see the thick lower section, which means that it has a split lower serif. And there will be no other doubling on this side. And there should not be any doubling on this side. Ken Peavy's channel, you can just search on YouTube for Ken Peavy, and you can find his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Find his live video. And join us this evening while we go through the adventures of the numismatic world. I didn't draw a name for this one. Well, whoever I draw is going to get an RPM. Jeff Dunn. Mr. Dunn will get this one. That's Mr. Dunn's coin. Is that the second one for you? I think it is. Yeah, that's the second one of those for him. Got one for Dunn, 2 for Dunn, 1 for Levels, and 1 for Robert Adams. That's so far. We're only 15 coins into the roll. Here's coin number 16. Hello, Vicky. And Hector. All right, Joe McBride gets the next one. Let's see what Joe McBride gets. So far, we've got 1 minor RPM popping out of this roll. And so far, that's all we have popping out of this roll. But this, as with all other rolls I open in these roll reveals, I will be going through the entire roll of coins again to be sure that I didn't miss anything. And if I did miss anything, I will attribute it and include it in your package. Attribute it. I don't want anyone receiving any coins out of these roll reveals that are not attributed. Now, when I attribute it, I'll put the die number on it. If it happens to be a brand new die, well, I'm going to photograph the nicest grade coin in the roll from that die, and that will become my plate coin. Plate coin means that I have photographed that coin, and it will be used on Coppercoins.com to identify that die. Mr. Hampton. So if you have a plate coin, you're going to get it signed. You're going to get the flip insert signed by yours truly, so that if you submit it to NX to have them put plate coin on there, they will see my signature, and they will give you a plate coin designation on the coin. Now, if it's not a new discovery and I use it for photographs, you'll still get the plate coin designation on there because I still used it for photographs. Now, if you get a die that's already been identified, and I've already got decent photos of it, I'm not going to be taking photos of any of the coins in the roll of that die, so there will be no plate coins in that roll, but I will still identify every one of the double dies or RPMs that I find in that roll. Here's Deanne. Deanne gets the next coin in the roll. Let's see if we can spread these double dies, or these RPMs, out to everyone. So far I see nothing. There's a little hit on the top of the mint mark, making that little piece that appears to be doubling, but it isn't. It's a small hit on the mint mark. We've got nothing on In God We Trust. Yeah, flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. See what's going on here. Nothing so far. It's a hit on the N of United. Okay, when I say hit, I mean something hit the coin. I don't know what hit the coin. Something smashed into the coin, causing displacement of the design elements, which causes more or less what we consider a dent or a cut into the surface of the coin. And that happens post-mint. Majestic gets the next coin. Now, post-mint does not mean it necessarily happened after it left the mint. It just happened after it left the minting chamber. It could have happened while the coin was still in the mint. We don't know. Just like that right there. This is damage to the coin. You can tell because it displaced metal. It moved metal to the side. And you cannot tell whether this was done at the mint or after the mint. But because it was done after the coin was minted, we call it post-mint damage. PMD. And damage like that, absolutely no effect to a Gem BU coin. You can still have an MS65 reg coin with a little dent like that in the rim because it's almost unnoticeable. And when you look at the entire coin, you look at a nice, bright, flashy, lustrous coin, you're not even going to notice that. You only notice it when you start looking at it under a microscope. I can tell you the people who do the grading, they notice little things like that, but they don't count against the grade very much for them. I mean, if you're looking at a coin that would otherwise grade a 67 or a 68, and it's a really, really high-grade coin, a ding like that's going to knock you down. But if you're looking at a coin that's already a 64, 65 level, and it has a little ding in the rim, no big deal. It's like this coin here. You're looking at a 64-ish coin. 63, 64. You got a little struck through going on the forehead right there. You can tell because there's no displacement of the metal. So that was done while the coin was being struck. But then, you look around, you got a few little spots and a few little gash marks and a few little things here and there. But like this, all this little pickling, I call it, the little marks in the rim, that's not even going to be noticed when it comes time to grade the coin, because this spotting on the coin is going to affect the visibility of the surface of the coin as being imperfect a lot more than that will. Just a little bit about grading. Little tidbits here and there. I come to this realization that, you know what, I may actually know more than I thought I did, simply because I can talk coins all day long and not ever cover the same subject twice. And I didn't even know I could do that. As I sit here and I think to myself, you don't know all that much about this stuff. But then I start talking about it. And I guess if I could write a book that explained everything I know about coins, it'd be a pretty big book. Now this is going to be the second die variety found, the second RPM. It would share space with coin number 11, which was James Dowdle. You're going to find a long die scratch right there. under the R. I could tell that because I had a repunchment mark with a split lower serif that did not have the scratch from the 1 to the 9 of the date. So this is going to be the second die in the roll, and this is the second example of the second die of a repunchment mark in this roll. And looking at the reverse, in focus please, we will find nothing of any special mention. So this will be Joe McBride's coin. It will be the second coin of the second die, coin number 21. I set that aside. I'm ready to attribute it. Bill Betts will get the next coin in the roll. Bill Betts. Let's see what Bill Betts gets. Why is it these coins seem to be different thicknesses? It's weird. Have to refocus after the coins. That one, the lower serif is just smashed a little bit, which is why it looks a little strange, but it's a normal lower serif. Looking for anything else on the obverse, and there is nothing else that I can see. I move over the reverse. Take a look here. See, there's another little die break with a depression. It could be the same die that I'm passing over time and time again, and I believe it probably is at this point. No, wait a minute, what was that? No doubling do I see. I guess I saw nothing. I saw a patch next to the D, and I thought that might be a little greaser, but it's not. There's Bill Betts' coin, number 22. Coin number 23 in this roll will go to Jeff Dunn. Mr. Dunn will get this coin. Let's take a look at it and see what we have. We have a distinctively brownish coin. Seems as though there's some chance that this coin was opened and reclosed because this coin is toned. It was on the outside of the roll at one point. So this is a roll ender coin in the center of the roll. Well, that's strange. Well, given that this roll has been opened, and I did not spot that, we still have an original roll going on here, so that's not going to be affected. But what will be affected is the fact that I do business right straight up on the table, and I know that this is not original from the bank as I had described. So we're going to give you another roll for this roll. Basically what that means is I'm going to be doing a second up on this one as well tomorrow. We do have some nice coins in this roll. There's not any doubt about that. But since this roll was opened at one point in time, I'm going to do you guys a flavor with another roll. We'll go through another roll tomorrow. Hey, Todd. Okay, we got nothing on this coin. It looks like we're running through two different repunchment marks in this roll so far. And that's all we've found so far. It's two different rather minor repunchment marks. Yes, Christmas is coming early. We're halfway through the roll here. We have found the two roll end coins inside the roll, which means that this roll was not quote-unquote original as wrapped. Somebody rewrapped it. And that was not me. Next one will be Benjamin Marler. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this roll and give it to everyone, as I had already said. Hey, look at that. There's a nice repunchment mark. Wow, that's sweet. Look at that. Pretty. Penny Parent. Penny Parent, Penny Parent. Everybody wants Penny Parent to identify their coins. Look at that. Ooh, let me get it in focus. Sweet. Sherman says he agrees. Hey, buddy. All right, so there we have a nice repunchment mark. So this is an original roll. What it's not is wrapped as original, because we found the roll end coins inside the roll. Well, you don't do that. But Benjamin Marler gets himself a nice RPM. Oh, we didn't check the reverse on this one. Let me check the reverse on this one real quick, just to be sure that we don't have a double die reverse that we could be missing. Sherm wants to go for a walk. Folks, it's cold out there. Baby, it's cold outside. It's about 41 degrees right now. So Benjamin Marler gets himself a pretty nice RPM right there. All right. Sissy gets the next coin in the roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remake all these little name cards right here. Grab another good roll, or one I believe is good and sealed, of 1960D Lincoln Cents. We're going to open a second roll, and you guys are all going to get a second chance at double dies, RPMs, and all the other nice flavors that come out of these rolls. Okay, this is a repunchment mark. I can see it in the top serif. There's a little black spot in the center of the top serif there, and I can see how there's a little split in the lower serif too. So I believe this could be that second die. Let's check for our long die scratch going through the R, and it is not the same die. This is not the first die. It's not the second die. Definitely not the third die, because the third die was an extreme RPM, really nice one. So we're going to call this the fourth die. The fourth die has a die scratch running through the bottom of the 9 of the date, and then another die scratch from the center of the 9 through to the top of the 6. So we got a few little die scratches there to talk about. Next time we run into this minor RPM, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, there's nothing on the reverse of note. So we will put this in a holder for Sissy Atwell. Stick it off to the side because it is an RPM, and this is the fourth different die found in this roll. Taco John. Taco John gets coin number 27. Let's put coin number 27 on the platform for observation. And we have what appears to be a normal coin with some rubber skid mark from the counting machine. That's what that is. That's rubber from the wheel of the counting machine. And it will come off. Hello, Midnight. Oh, what do I see there? Nothing of note. Okay. Okay. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, nothing on that side. Taco John gets a normal coin. And since I only allowed 3 people per, or 3 coins per person in this one, we got a number of different people affected by this roll. Here's Singjay. I think I like that idea. Limiting the number of coins people get in the rolls that they participate in. Is that possibly? Could be an RPM, folks. Could be an RPM. What do you think? That looks like... yeah, it's an RPM. Right there. Oh, come on. Let me get my light a little bit brighter on this. I kind of lost it. It's okay, I'm losing it all the time. This is just one case. Did we see it? That's right, we only had 3 coins per person, and some still didn't get involved in this one because they got cut off before the roll was done. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Right there. Penny, do you see this? There. There it is. I'm going to darken it down. You see that curve above the demint mark? That's a north RPM, I do believe. Penny, can you look this one up for me real quickly? I believe this could be RPM 10? Is that a number 10? Now we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna take a little break here, and we're going to check on this RPM because I do believe this is one of the listed RPMs. Let's see what markers we have to help Penny out. Looks like we have a little die chip on the outside of the 0 of the date. Okay. Ooh, we have a rather strong die scratch. Or is that a die scratch? Could be a die scratch. I'm not getting it to show up really well, though. Nope, that's just a line on the coin. Die scratch is going to shine. On a BU coin, when you turn it a certain way, die scratches are going to light up. Just like that. See, between the E and the R of Liberty? You see those die scratches? Now see, if I turn it this way, those kind of disappear. And then if I turn them this way, they're gone altogether. But then you turn it around here, and they show up again. That's because the light is shining perpendicular to the direction of the scratches. So we have die scratches in Liberty. It appears as though we have a nice die scratch, a heavier die scratch, running northwest from the top of the E of Liberty. I don't think it's 17 or 19. 19 has a die gouge above the 9. This could be a 17. But it just doesn't look as, I guess, obvious as a 17. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it later, but that does appear to be a repunchment mark. Hello, Cajun. I never got the, this belongs to Sing J here. Oh, we didn't look at the reverse. Let's look at the reverse real quick. I often forget to look at the reverses on 1960D because I just don't expect to see anything. Okay, so Cajun, I sent you a message earlier and asked if I should send you a check or PayPal. Just let me know. Okay. Nothing going on there. The bottom of the 1. You're seeing a reflection off the inside of the rim. See, if I turn it this way, that reflection goes away. And if I turn it this way, you see the reflection again. It's just a reflection of the lighting. You did reply. Okay, I'll send you a check. Okay, as Sing J, we definitely have an RPM, or do appear to have an RPM. That would be 5 different RPMs out of this roll so far. Oh, the 1 of the date. Bottom of the 1 of the date. Here. It's a fiber on the coin. That's what it was. See it sitting on top of the 1 now? That's just a fiber on the coin. Fiber from the paper. A wrapper. That's why I didn't say anything. I just skip over those. Deanne gets the next coin in the roll. Let's see what Deanne gets. And see, this is going to prompt me to go back through all these coins looking for that shadow of a D going north. Because I didn't see it in any of the other coins, but then again, I may have not been looking hard enough to see it, or I just had it turned in the light just right that I couldn't see it. So I've got to go back through the roll to be sure that I didn't miss any others. Could very well have missed others. And that's what I'm talking about. With the double check on the roll, you can be sure. Sleep at night comfortably knowing that you have identified everything properly as being or not being a die variety. So there we go. All right, that's coin number 29. Coin number 30. Coin number 30 will go to Paul Hampton. Well, Paul Hampton crawls out of the woodwork here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, he gets one of those of the first die that we found in this roll because we have the die scratch at the bottom of the 9 of the date. Actually going from the 1 through the 9 of the date. We also have a different one that has a die scratch at the bottom of the 9 of the date. Let's not get these confused. because, well, Chuck gets confused easily. Okay. That side, and no big error issues do we find on this side. The coin is kind of spotted. It's kind of toned down a little bit. I can see that. But we have ourselves another repunchment mark. Coin number 30 of the roll was a repunchment mark. Now for coin number 31. Coin number 31 belongs to James Dowdle. Mr. Dowdle, this coin is for you. Oh, we have a nice repunchment mark. And that's another example of the same die. Now see, that one's got a little fiber laying on the top of the D as well. But that's another example of the same die again. So this will be an example of the first RPM found in the roll. Too young to get confused. You don't know how hard a life I've lived. Okay, got nothing on that side. So Mr. Dowdle will get another example of an RPM out of this roll. And that's going to be his, is it first or second? It's going to be his first example of this particular RPM. All right, Midnight Silver Run gets the next coin. Midnight Silver Run, what does he get? Bam. There's another RPM. This roll's smack full of RPMs, isn't it? This is that one that's got the die scratch running from the top of the 9 to the top of the 6 of the date. Top of the 9 to the top. Actually, it goes through the 196. I just noticed that. It's one single die scratch. It goes through the 196 of the date. Okay, let me check real quickly and find the other example, because I know that this is the second example of this particular die. So I want to make sure I get them in the right pile. I believe it's the fourth die found in this roll. Nope. That's the one that has the die scratch running through the bottom of the 9. Is it the second one? Nope. It's not the second one either. Is it the fifth one? Nope. It's not the fifth one. Have I been miscategorizing them? The third. Okay. Alright, I must have done gone and completely lost it, because this one doesn't match it. So I'm going to pull it off to the side. I know we've seen this die before. I'm going to throw this one on the reverse side, take a look at it real quick. Then I'm going to pull it off to the side in a what the heck pile. And I'll go back through the what the heck pile while I'm going through the other stuff. And I'll figure out what I've done incorrectly here, because this coin should be classified with another coin, at least one other coin, that has already been found in this roll, because I can remember the die scratch. So Midnight could possibly have the first coin of the roll of that RPM, but he may not. Levels of Madness gets the next coin. Let's see what Levels of Madness gets. And this one is a normal coin, no repunchment mark. Any hub doubling going on here? No doubled eyelid. No doubling in the motto. Let's look at the reverse and see what's going on the reverse. And it does not appear that there's any hub doubling on this side either. So we have a normal coin. There you go, Levels. Just your luck, right? All right. What's next? Majestic Sounds of Coins. What kind of luck can you have, Levels? Right in between two RPMs, you got a normal coin. All right, this is another example of the first RPM found in the roll. Reminds me of an old TV show from back when I was a little kid. Bunch of guys sitting around on the front porch of a cabin, chewing on straw with their banjos, singing a song. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Anybody name that TV show? Midnight Silver Run gets the next coin. Let's see who can name that TV show. Show your age, folks. Somebody's got to be as old as me. Okay, see, there's another one with... Yeah, Cajun Coin Hunter knows that one. Yeah, see, we've run through this particular die. Oh, wow, there are other people who are as old, if not older than me. What do you know? Very good, people. It's Hee Haw. Debuted in 1969 and showed through 1974, I believe. Maybe 75. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I'm going to hold this out as an RPM because I did see another example of this particular die. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my... Okay. That's the same as the fourth RPM found in the roll. I did not see anything that appeared to be RPM on that coin, but that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Ran through 76. Mr. Patet. I don't know. I learned quite a bit from that TV show as a child. One of the things that I learned from that TV show as a child is that I'm a hick. And I was raised in hick country. Because there's a lot of the things that I saw on there that I saw in regular life too. There was actually a guy that ran a junkyard that dressed like Junior. He didn't have a license plate BR549 that had his telephone number on it, but his name was Hollis. No kin to you, Cajun. The Hollis ran his junkyard. The short shorts. That's right. You know, at my age, it didn't appeal to me. I didn't see anything in the short shorts. But now, I can understand it. Hawkeye gets the next coin. Let's see what's on the next coin for Hawkeye. Bam, repunchment mark. Boom. Ding. You can see the upper serif. In this position right here, you can see the upper serif as well as the lower serif. Both doubled. And that's the one with the really long, old die scratches running through Liberty. So we have that working for us. This is the second different RPM in the roll. Checking the rest of the coin for any specific... It's a nice little fiber laying on the coin there. Checking for any specific errors. I just heard Mama drive up the driveway, and the dog just zipped out of the room, so he's going to go greet Mama. The dog loves to go greet Mama every day when she comes home. She's late today. Wild Bill. Wild Bill gets the next coin. So as soon as I get done with this roll, I'm going to have to take off, folks, because we are going to go eat and then come back for the Q&A on Ken PV's channel this evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 2.5 hours from now. And go through and check the rest of the coins in this roll. So I don't have to mash them down. Let me put this in better focus. There we go. Boy, doesn't that work? When you turn that little wheel and you can see things clearly. Oop, there's a carbon spot. Never fear, folks, you're getting these coins at half price because we are going to do another roll of 1960D as a replacement for this non-original roll. Now, the other roll that I pick is not going to be an original roll. It will be a tubed roll. It'll be a taped tubed roll. Blah, blah, blah. Bill Betts. There's an RPM for Bill Betts. That should be the same die as the last one that I just pulled out, and it is. There's your long die scratches running through Liberty. Hello, Victoria. I mailed your package today. I refunded the extra shipping that had been paid on the website, and all of the coins are coming together. So the one you got on the website plus all the ones that you got in the auction, 5 coins total, are coming in the same package. All right, so I got nothing on that side. One more look at this pretty little RPM for Bill Betts. You can see our die scratch coming off the top of the 9 there. That's going to be a good marker for this. But the marker that we chose to use is over on the other side of the obverse. Really long die scratches running through Liberty. I am still, folks, working through getting... Okay, I've just finished sending out all of the invoices. Put that in this stack over here and don't fold it. Just finished sending out all the invoices for the auction this past Thursday. So if you just got it, or this past Tuesday. So if you just got an invoice, I just sent it. Here's Taco J. Taco John. Taco John appears to have gotten a normal coin here. Take a good look at it. What's the matter, numismatic picker? He's furious. What's the matter? Talk to us, Trey. You know, Midnight, I like to be as easy as I can for my customers to deal with me. That's for sure. Because if it makes it easy for you, it probably makes it easier for me too. The U.S. Mint is the issue. Oh, you went in to get a coin and you couldn't get through. Dude, that happened to hundreds of thousands of people, I'm sure. Oh, look at this. What do we have here? What is this? Let's get it in focus so we can see it. Do we have... Hard to tell what's going on here. There's something coming out. Let me take a much closer look at this. Let's get our light turned on a little bit brighter. Let's get this in focus a little bit better. And, oh, it's a piece of fiber laying on the D. I saw that die scratch over on the left-hand side just below the upper serif, and then I saw this lighter texture on the right side, and I thought, oh, what is that? Well, it's just nothing really. I went into the Mint website and tried to make my order at noon today, and, well, nothing. Couldn't even get through. All it was saying is, oops, there must be something wrong. Oops, there must be something wrong. Oops, there must be something wrong. So I just quit trying. I'm signed up with the Mint. I've already got my credit card number in there and everything. But couldn't get an order to go through, that's for sure. Yeah, the only way that I have ever found that actually works is that you have to sign on 15, 20, 25 minutes early and actually get the page for the product where it says available soon. Get that up on your screen, and then as soon as the time hits, you refresh and it should be available. You could put it in your cart and hurry up to checkout. Oop, what am I doing? Midnight Silver Run gets this one. Oops. One small dent. What do we have here? But often that doesn't work in the really popular ones, because I tell you what, you just got to have the luck and grace of Job to get through. And that's just the way it works. You can't have it in your cart prior to availability. It won't allow you to add it to your cart until they're actually available for sale. So the farthest you can go is to actually go to the product page and sit there watching for it to become available. And then add it to your cart and run. It's definitely like the big runs on certain products come Black Friday. Or what used to be runs on products Black Friday at the stores. Look at that. Look at that. Midnight Silver Run. Midnight Silver Run will get the wrapper for this particular roll. I like this wrapper. This one's a cool wrapper because it shows that it was made where I grew up, Memphis, Tennessee. Mr. McBride. So you have a 1/2 address? Oh, look at this. Mr. McBride gets a nice RPM. Wait a minute. I saw an RPM there, folks. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, you can see it there on the top serif. I do believe. Since I'm having trouble finding it, I can prove it to you and myself. Right there. Oops. Right there, the upper serif. Can't you see it? I can see it. Right there. And there we go. So let's see if we already have this die marked as one of our... It is. So this is the one that I couldn't seem to find last time. This is the one with the die scratch running through the bottom of the 9 of the date. Right there. It is the 4th different RPM in the roll. So there's Mr. McBride. Coin number 43 gets the 4th different RPM in the roll. And we move on to the next. Mr. Dowdle. I've gone to a point where I don't even bother trying to order from the mint most of the time. I had a friend ask me if I could try to order one of the coins for him. So that's why I went on. I wouldn't have bothered if it had just been for me. But he wanted an extra one, so I tried to order him an extra one, and I couldn't do it. We got nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah, this die I've definitely seen before because that die break off the right cornice looks like a horn. Looks like a little rhinoceros horn. And then there's a depression right next to it. So we've seen this die for sure. Let me get my brightness down just a little bit more there. So you can actually see this coin. I agree with that. Pre-sales should not be allowed on eBay for new products. Especially when that new product is coming from the United States Mint and they have a long history of not being able to deliver. That's right, you order from me, it may show up late, but it will show up. I definitely have everything I'm trying to sell. This is another one of those RPMs with the... It's got that die scratch running through the lower 9 of the date. And you can have a little bit of an upper split serif going on right there. So this will be the fourth different die found in this roll. And we are running just about even with non-die varieties to the die varieties. But the warning I must give you is that when I go back through these coins, some of the ones that I may have found in this particular pass will not be listable, and you will get them as a normal coin. That can happen. Okay, here's another one of the first RPMs I found in this roll. I was looking through a 1959 D roll this past week and thought I found, ooh, there's a little struck into a lamination peel. You have a small peel going on right there that was struck. Right below the E of 1. And when I went through the roll, I thought I might be finding some bar L double dies. That when I had a chance to go back through the roll, look at it again, what did I get here? I can't remember now. Somebody's going to have to keep me straight on this. Okay, that's the first different die right there. I ended up having to send out a number of normal coins that I thought at first were double dies. Turned out not to be double dies. Benjamin Marler. So I can make mistakes. Sometimes I do in these feeds. No one is infallible. Okay, I see nothing here. Nothing there. Little dent in the rim up there. Got nothing going on there. Let's check the other side. Got nothing going on there. And Benjamin Marler has a normal coin here. Singjay. Singjay will get the next coin. Let's see what it is. Well, this is definitely a little bit different from some of the others that I've seen. Let's see what we've got going on here, if anything. Okay, this is another one of those ones that has the large hook up and over on the top of the mint mark. I know it. I can kind of see it. And it's just hard to display it to you. See if changing my lighting helps any. You can barely see it there, but it's a nice long round hook coming off the top of the D. And we also have a very tiny little die gouge coming off the bottom of the mint mark too. And that's how I could tell what this was for sure. And I have found that the lighting doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. That's why I'm going to go through this roll again for sure. This is really hard to see. That's how I know it's not a 17 or a 19, I don't think. Okay, so we definitely have... Oh, what is that? We have a lamination running right across the center of the coin right here. See that straight line going up and down through his jaw and everything? That continues on down here, down to about this point. And all that area that looks a little off, that's all lamination right there. All right. So we have a nice RPM for Singjay. And I think, let me check it here real quick. Okay, I can see it when I look at it like that. It's just not showing up very well. Okay, it's not showing up very well under the scope. But that's the 5th different die variety found in this roll. Singjay again. Singjay, what does Singjay get here? Let's take a look at this one. Singjay is going to get one of the RPMs that has the scratch going through the bottom of the 9 of the date. All right, there we go with that. Let's check the reverse here for any errors. My first error is that it's not in focus. That unfortunately does not transfer to value in the coin. Okay, we got nothing over here, but we do have nice little RPM going on there. It's got the die scratch running through the bottom of the 9 of the date. It's a good idea, Lowells. Just dump all your crap at that bank. Okay, last coin. Last coin goes to Wild Bill. Wild Bill gets this coin, and it's not going to be a roll ender, but it does have... It is a roll ender. This is the other roll ender, and it was in the end that it was supposed to be in. And it is a normal coin, as it appears. Normal coin roll ender, and it does have some toning going on. You can see the toning. Pretty colors. With this thing, you get 2 magnification levels. Now, with 2 different magnification levels, that also means that I should be able to change, because I can lift. So I can lift that up, and I should be able to focus on this. See, there we go. We can focus a little bit further away and see a little bit more of the coin. Like that. Flip the coin over, and you can see the toning. Now, I don't know if I have a second focal point with this. No, I don't. It has to be a lot closer to the coin to get that second focal point. I got nothing going this way. So this is all I got at this distance away. But then I get at this distance, which is like a 1/4 of an inch, a little less than a 1/4 of an inch. And I can see like this, and then I can zoom in and see it more on a quote-unquote molecular level. And although this does appear to be a normal coin, I do agree with the guys that there are some pretty colors on this. You can see them right there. Look at that. A toned coin at the molecular level. Yay! Okay, let's go back and look at this mint mark again. It's a normal one. Well, there we go. Your 16's your favorite just because you don't have a really good 10. If you had a really good 10, you'd be good with that. Okay, so there we go. Here's our roll. I can hear the dog barking downstairs. Mama's on the phone. Mama doesn't want to take the dog out, so she's going to want me to take the dog out because it's cold. And so we've got those. We've got that. We've got this. Listen, let me put them this way because I've got that. We've got that. We got 4 dies. Here's 4 dies. And here's 5 dies, plus 2 that are, I can't remember where I put these. So we've got 2, I can't remember where I put these mystery coins. But then we've got 5 different dies for sure on this roll. I'm going to set these off to the side. And I'm going to bid you farewell because I have to be back on in an hour and a half after dinner. So I appreciate it, folks. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for participating. And 16 could be better for an RPM unless you're using a good 10. This is a good 10. This is a Belomo loop. And Belomo are good. They're good quality. I like the optics. This is a Belomo 10X triplet. So I can't get that camera to focus on it. Belomo 10X triplet. This is what I recommend. I like this little loop. It's a nice little loop. I've been using this little sucker right here for about 15 years. I'll be back on soon, folks. I'll talk to you later after dinner.